Hello and welcome to the Riot podcast on whatever podcast service you so choose.
That is true. Wherever you're listening, thank you guys for tuning in today.
Yeah, we would love to hear from you. We've got a couple places we'd love to hear from you. One is a review. If you want to review us on your podcast service of choice. But more importantly, we want you to go and follow us on TikTok at RadioU Official.
RadioU Official. We have a TikTok from this morning's show, and we're going to try to do more of those for you guys there, so you can, enjoy the podcast, but also have a chance to watch us do things too.
Yes, very exciting stuff.
Even though Isaiah, I almost threw my phone making that TikTok. I hate it.
You hate it?
I think I'm much more a person who enjoys watching TikToks
Than actually making them.
Than making it. It was just really hard to make it while we're still doing the show. I was just like, I hate this. But hopefully that means you guys really need to like it and appreciate it.
Or Nikki's gonna peace out on that.
I will. Or definitely at least follow us at RadioU Official on TikTok and say hi there.
So today on the podcast, we talked about Aaron Rodgers and how he is completely destroying my fantasy team.
Oh, is it really?
By not playing this week, yes.
Oh, yeah, we didn't ask you how you thought about that.
Upset.
That's
how I think. Because he's not going to play. I need him.
Yeah,
I need him to play.
Uh-huh.
So I'm upset with Aaron.
You're probably more upset than I am.
Yeah, he's like literally, I have no backup quarterback, so I had to pick somebody up. He's not going to be nearly as good. I haven't even picked anybody up yet. Because I was like, maybe because they say he's doubtful.
Yeah.
Like
they
2 days
he
ago.
might not even have 2 games.
Yeah. And so then I was like, okay, maybe he'll play. And then like yesterday or whenever it was confirmed that he's donezo for Sunday. So I was upset.
Because he was doing breast milk treatments instead of just getting the vaccine.
You can't just throw that out there without
allegedly.
You don't even.
This is a theory that I've developed. I haven't seen anybody else putting this out there. I want the credit for it when it is confirmed later today.
In the podcast,
what? Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
I just want to make sure because if not, they'll never hear what that's about.
Yes. No, that's in there too.
Yeah, we talked about that. We also talked about a good place if you'd like to hide drugs. We have a couple suggestions for you.
Yeah, one place not to hide them.
What's in the box?
Yeah.
What's in the box? Not one place not to hide drugs. Of course, the bad joke would be the only worst place would be in a box of donuts because it's police. But no, we would never say that.
Hey, the police had fun with this one.
Yeah, they did. But it is a place that actually we're concerned that we might be contributing to the drug smuggling business.
It might be a part of this.
There's a
I have
chance.
no idea. Like we never look in the cabinet, so we don't know what's going on in there.
We may be involved somehow. If we ever get taken down, this is why.
We talked about that. We also talked about one of my favorite places that I haven't been to in a while, which is Bob Evans.
Oh yeah,
something that I've never done in Bob Evans is accidentally shoot myself, but.
You never lived until you
I know
shot yourself one
exactly
time
in the bathroom of a Bob Evans, you know.
Right?
But I do love Bob
rush.
Evans. I know, right?
If you go to Bob Evans, you better be strapped. I think we all should know this. You gotta be carrying because you never know what might go down.
I don't know. I got a new purse and it's smaller. I don't think I can get a gun hidden in there enough.
You wouldn't be able to conceal it?
I don't think I can conceal it well. And I would never feel comfortable wearing a concealed gun.
Yeah.
I feel like that's when I would accidentally shoot myself.
Yeah, right. And you're the one that's going to get shot in that situation.
Exactly.
At least in your purse, it might hit somebody else.
Or you sit weird enough because, you're like, is that a gun? Or like, what is that? You're like, no, don't look at it.
You just want to be able to play it cool.
No, I could not.
Yeah,
like, don't touch me.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be so worried about it the whole time. That's what I'd be thinking about if I had it put away somewhere.
Yeah.
That's what I'd be thinking about the whole time. It's like, is this thing gonna shoot me in the kneecap?
Well,
I'd have to continually check and be like, is the safety on?
Yeah.
Like, is it on?
Like you have to keep checking your phone to make sure.
I'm like, it's like if you're at church and the ringer, you're like, is my ringer actually off though? Like, I've checked it for the 3rd time.
Yeah.
Like, is it off or not?
We'll have to ask Sydney because she's taken gun courses. Maybe maybe half the class is just how to be comfortable with your gun.
Every day at work. We don't even know.
That's what I was going to say. We have a no gun sign on the front.
We do,
yeah.
I never even noticed because it's never concerned me.
Well, especially the one day the guy broke in. So you can't. You're not really supposed to bring a gun in here. What if she has one?
You need to have a metal detector.
What if she thinks she doesn't need to follow the no gun rule?
What if she accidentally shoots herself in the bathroom one day?
Clearly, we can't handle ourselves. But Sydney does sit at the front desk a lot, so maybe she's our protector. She's protecting us silently.
If we
don't even know.
Add security guard to her title,
yes.
It could be. We have also the button at the front desk, which I always thought it's an emergency button. If you hit it, it just calls the police right away. and it's right where your knee is.
I know. Yeah, when I was shown that, I was like, I'm never sitting at the front desk. Like, there's no chance I'm going to be close to that thing. I know there's going to be a time where I'm messing around and I just bump it.
So go ahead and try to break in. We'll shoot ourselves
and
not be able to manage
But if
anything.
Sydney's sitting at the front desk, you probably should walk
Don't
away.
mess with Sydney.
Well, thank you guys for enjoying the podcast today. We do have plans, if you're done with the podcast, to head over to RadioU Riot on our Facebook and our YouTube channel, because we should be doing another lunch show where Isaiah and I will be dining the finest of finest.
The finest of dining.
We will be having the McRib for the very first time. Maybe we can get candles or play some music.
I love a candle.
If not, we'll just take a bite, hate it, and then Hudson will eat the rest.
And we'll eat
I'm going to have 3 McRibs for lunch, it sounds like.
Yeah, so make sure you hop over and watch that when you're done with the show.
All right, guys. Well, we'll catch you later.
Bye.
The Riot Podcast. RadioU.
I feel that I was ready to go today.
Yeah.
I was all set with the car situation. We talked yesterday about the frosty windshield. I didn't get my vinegar bottle locked down yet to take care of that.
Well, let's give a little bit more context.
Yeah.
Yesterday, there was an article about if you're in an area where it's starting to finally get a little frosty, your windshield and stuff can take longer to get ready. And there was this mixture of whatever it was.
Yeah, just vinegar and water.
That's it. And you need a spray bottle and you make it yourself and you spray your window down when you tuck it in in your car at night. And you're supposed to be fine when you wake up in the morning.
Yeah, so I don't think I have any vinegar on hand, but I didn't. What you just don't want to do is walk out to your car and on your normal schedule and then realize you're going to have to sit there for 5-10 minutes while it defrosts.
Yeah.
So I forgot about the vinegar, but not forgot, I just didn't have any. But what I did do is make sure I set all of the settings in the car so that it would have the heat and the defrost on so I could remote start it before I went out there. And so, it was all set to go. I tried to remote start my car this morning. You know what it doesn't do?
It doesn't remote start.
It doesn't remote start.
Hey!
I'm like, you have to.
Battery dead? Or?
No. You have to lock it, right? To make sure that it won't remote start unless it's locked. So I'm like locking it. So the horn just keeps going off because I'm just trying to make it so that it will start.
Just set the alarm.
And if anybody else was awaked, if anybody else was risen from their slumber because of my horn, I apologize. But I was just trying to get my car to remote start, and I never did. Aww. I had to actually go out there and just sit in the cold car.
And wait.
Yeah, but
why don't you practice in the parking lot today to figure out the remote start?
It worked yesterday, so that's what I don't know. I don't want to have to remote start it. I know it's a little colder in there, but I feel like that's a waste of gas.
Okay, well, let's
bad
go back
for the environment. I just need the vinegar spray, I guess.
Let's go back to that. We'll go get you some. We'll send Isaiah out for some vinegar today.
Yeah, he's got to go out later today, anyways.
So it's for the show. I think it counts.
Yeah, I don't want to keep waking up the neighbors with my honking horn going off 80 times.
What is this person doing? Yeah. Why is it not working? You want to go out and help them?
I did used to have a neighbor that their alarm would just randomly go off in the middle of the night, and sometimes it would go off for a while.
No, really?
Yeah.
Oh, they just didn't hear it.
I think there was some electrical thing with their car because it would just go off and they'd go out and turn it off and then it'd go back on. Then they'd go out and turn it off. And it would just be, the worst. Fortunately, I don't think it ever happened while they were away because that would be tough, right?
At that point, you're like, well, what do I pull from underneath the car so it stops even running at all?
It looks like you're trying to steal it.
Yeah, but you're not. All your neighbors, they'll stick up for you.
I just want to sleep. I just want some peace and quiet.
Now you know how they felt.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy-dandy fast-forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
The football world was rocked yesterday, and more importantly, my world.
Do you know how many people asked me yesterday how you're doing?
How I'm holding up?
How are you holding up? Because, if you did not know that Hudson is a fan of the Green Bay Packers, not just a fan, you just seem like a fan.
Yeah.
Like a real fan.
I'm not a fair weather fan.
Correct.
I stay with the Packers through thick and thin, but more importantly, I stay with Aaron Rodgers through thick and thin.
So you are also his fan.
Oh, yeah.
So you'd follow his fandom if he moved to another team or something?
Much like my wife followed Tom Brady from the Patriots to the Buccaneers and is now still cheers for the Patriots, but much more Buccaneers fan because of Tom Brady. If Aaron Rodgers leaves, I'd probably stick with him.
Yeah.
But he's making it hard on me right now.
Well, just again, everybody yesterday was like, "How is Hudson doing? Is he handling it okay?
Yeah.
What's his thoughts about it?"
Yeah. Oh, I've got thoughts. So the situation is, yesterday we found out that Aaron Rodgers tested positive for COVID-19.
So the Packers had a COVID outbreak with a couple of players.
Yeah, they had a few people. It wasn't many, but they had a few guys that had to sit out their game last week.
But this is a different time.
And this seems to be separate because there had been nobody that tested positive for like almost a week. It was almost the same time last week where the first batch of guys tested positive. And so
I agree with what you said.
What's that?
Halloween.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's definitely Halloween.
Someone went to a Halloween party.
Aaron Rodgers
that was it.
tested positive for COVID-19. And what was causing the controversy was like, if you're vaccinated in the NFL and you test positive, if you test negative twice in a row, you can come back 2 days later. But if you're unvaccinated, no matter what, you have to sit out 10 days. And he said August 26th, he said, he was asked point blank, are you vaccinated? He said, I'm immunized.
And then
everybody took that to mean, okay, so he's vaccinated. And then we find out now that he has to sit out the whole 10 days because he's not actually vaccinated.
Well, they also said some of the concern was whether you're vaccinated or not, put that aside. But if you're not, you have to wear a mask at all times. And they say that Aaron Rodgers, part of practices and stuff was not.
Right.
So that's also why people believe that.
Yeah. So we're getting conflicting stories. But now we know that he's not vaccinated. However, the reason he said he was immunized is because apparently his doctor had done some kind of homeopathic treatment that's supposed to increase your COVID antibodies. So he was trying to petition the NFL. This is way early in the season, before the season started, that counts as being vaccinated. The NFL did not count that as being vaccinated. And apparently neither does his body.
Yeah, but then does that mean that, even with, you can still.
Yeah, you can still get it.
Because he's having to hang out longer.
Yeah.
It kind of tells that. But, do you think he got special treatment compared to some of the other players who weren't being vaccinated, who even some felt like got cut?
You think because of what? Just because he's not wearing a mask, or?
Yeah, because there were certain times where he was not, when it felt like he was not scrutinized like other players were.
Well, I think at the time, nobody really knew. Yeah, the NFL knew, and so he still has to follow the protocols. But if you've also seen some other notable unvaccinated players, they tend to get away with skirting the law or the protocols.
Sure.
Just doing the bare minimum or kind of getting around it. I think there's some loopholes for like mask wearing.
No.
Well, yeah, star players, but nevertheless. He's out for 10 days. And so people are really questioning. He's out for this Sunday's game. And if he develops, so far, as far as we know, he's asymptomatic. But if he develops any symptoms between now and next Saturday, it's possible that he will have to set out additional days, which would mean he misses next week's game.
Well, Hudson's doing all right, guys.
I'm hanging in there.
He's hanging in there. It's
Fortunately,
tough
the Packers
day.
are 7-1. They're in first place. So even if they lose 2 games without him, they'll bounce back. And this will give him extra motivation. Now he has to get back out there and prove himself and really lead the team extra hard because he's not there to lead the team now.
Is the backup quarterback for the Packers pretty good?
We don't know.
Oh, he never gets to play?
He's never played before.
He's excited,
He's the one that they drafted to replace Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, no.
So if you're Aaron Rodgers or if you're the Packers, it's kind of a win-win.
This is The Riot. Radio U.
How's some Chipotle sound to you right about now?
Every time Chipotle's in the news, it's not too good.
It's not good, except this. This is at least neutral news.
So this is why they say that Chipotle has begun in the last year or so testing more items because they need some good news to combat all the other.
You're right. For the longest time, they would never change their menu.
Yeah.
And then they started having the different bad news cycles that would come out for them. And so they have to do something to combat that.
Well, the most recent one was the burrito, the burrito from Halloween.
Don't bring that up. That's what they're trying to cover up with this story.
They don't want you to know how that maybe went a little bad.
They want you to forget about that, about how nobody could get their free burrito or discounted burrito. So what they are doing is they've announced they are testing for the first time ever. For the first time in 28 years. Chipotle's been around for 28 years?
I guess.
I didn't know that. Chipotle is testing a new chicken option. How's that sound, huh? It is, they're calling it Pollo Asado, which is a fresh new flavor of chicken. You can find it at 95 restaurants in the Cincinnati and Sacramento area.
So it's still testing. It's not a full option, but it's grilled chicken. It's got garlic, lime, peppers, cilantro, and that's the two testing markets right now.
Never heard of those peppers. Guajillo.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good.
It might be good.
Sometimes when I would go to Chipotle, it's been a while. Boo. It's not always pleasant. But the last time I went, sometimes the sauce on their meats, it's what I don't like.
That's what you don't like?
Yeah, like I wish I would just be like, can't I just have it plain without any sauce?
Do you ever find, and this is not just Chipotle, this is just almost any, it's just, I guess, a theme of Mexican food, or definitely if you make it if you make like Mexican beef at home for tacos with like pre-made seasoning, it's so salty.
Yeah.
And so you really have to make it on your own in a way that is okay for you, because if you just buy the old El Paso or whatever, you're just eating you're just eating a block of salt. And I feel that Chipotle falls into that same trap.
It's not. It's a block of garlic and lime and these peppers and cilantro. Right. So it's different. They are accelerating adding new menu items. They call this stage gate testing. And they are doing strategic testing with new releases, limited time options to drive customer traffic at different points throughout the year. Yeah. So they kind of want to just hit and just try to bump up things. So that's what they keep trying to do.
I'll tell you, the picture looks good.
Yeah.
It could be good. Right now they have the new thing, the brisket, right?
Yes, I think so. That's one of the testing things they've been doing, a limited time.
That sounds good too. Maybe I should give Chipotle another try.
I know you're pretty set on not.
I've been fairly happy for the last several years.
Not going
to Chipotle. So I don't know if I need it in my life anymore, but they're trying to tempt me. They're trying to draw me in. So I don't know. Maybe one day for the show, we dip our toe in the water that way.
Well, today we're doing an after show for lunch, and we will be trying, because Isaiah and I have never tried the McDonald's McRib.
Yes.
And I keep getting the ad that it's the most important sandwich of the year.
Oh, really?
It's this ad that keeps pulling up.
That's weird. That's a weird way to bring it up.
Why are you targeting me?
Yeah.
But it's working, because we're going to try that at lunch today and just hang out on our Facebook and our YouTube page. So maybe
you don't want to swap that out and do the Chipotle brisket instead?
Maybe, why don't you, let's do that maybe closer to Thanksgiving.
Another time?
Yeah, we'll just hang out and have another lunch.
Yeah, we're not going to do it.
Welcome to The Riot, where you listen to us and that's it. It's pretty much a one-way street. The Riot. RadioU.
We've got Johnson County in Arkansas, the sheriff's office. They wound up making a big drug bust earlier this week.
Yeah.
They found, methamphetamine paraphernalia in a traffic stop. So at this car, and the drivers of the vehicle ran away, hid in a nearby area, a wooded area.
I feel like is shouting out that you're guilty of something.
Yeah, if you run,
it's a dead giveaway.
You should never run.
Never run.
If you're ever going to be in trouble, you should not run. You should always walk.
Even if you're guilty, you have a better chance of getting out of it if you stay put.
You just stay. Like, act like you're not doing anything wrong. Like, is there some sort of issue, officer?
I don't know. When you
gotta play it cool.
Yeah.
They're going to keep looking, and they're going to find more stuff.
They're going to look anyways if they see meth paraphernalia, but you're better off just not running, as if you're going to get away.
Yeah, but there was a woman in the car as well. She tried to hide a small bag of pills, and then that with the paraphernalia alerted the police officers that they should probably keep looking to see what else is in there.
And so once they searched it, they found 100 grams of methamphetamine, almost 150 Xanax pills, half a pound of marijuana, and a handgun with the serial number scratched off. And all of that, you're thinking, that's Tuesday in Arkansas, right? It's not a big deal.
It's a whole party, yeah.
But the reason that it's in the news particularly is because of how they tried to hide the drugs. They were storing them in a Little Debbie's oatmeal cream pies box.
Yeah.
The big pack. We have the photos here.
But what's nice is, I mean, that was a lot of drug stuff, and they had to just shove it into the box, and it didn't quite fit in there.
Yeah, it's sticking out.
It's like you look in, you're like, what's going on with the box of the fries? So they were able to, authorities, when doing this search, said, hey, that didn't sit well with them.
Yeah, hey.
And then that search led to finding the rest of the drugs.
I love the resourcefulness. At least they were trying. Jim, we got to hide these drugs somehow.
They say
Quick, get the Little Debbies.
As cops,
eat all of them. Eat all of them. We got to have the box empty.
I know, they're not saying where the Little Debbie things went.
Yeah, like they clearly finished those a while ago. I feel like this happens more often than not, that you hide things in regular plain sight, like an oatmeal cream pie box. I feel like that's a pretty regular thing.
Well, they say if criminals start messing with zebra cakes too, we're going to take it personal. That's personal here because we get zebra cakes in our break room a lot, and we also get oatmeal cream pies.
There's a lot of them in there.
They're always sitting out in the basket outside of the box. Is that why they're dumped out?
Where's the box?
Where's our box at?
I think if these criminals, if they really, like, they weren't thinking through, they were not quite clever enough. Because they should have put it in something that the police officers wouldn't have wanted to go. You're a police officer. You pull over somebody. You see a oatmeal cream pie box. You're like, ooh, I think you're gonna have one. Yeah,
let's steal these from them.
You put
let's steal something from these people. Yeah,
put it in a bag of salad or something like that.
No one will notice.
Yeah, nobody will ever check in there. They're just gonna be like, this is probably garbage.
Well, I just wanted to raise the flag because with this article, it is concerning that we never see our boxes. They're always just open for us. And then in our break room, we have oatmeal cream pies and we have zebra cakes. We have the cakes themselves, but no box.
No box.
So where did these things go?
Yeah, where are our boxes? That's the real question. Yeah.
We don't want to be labeled as an accessory to any drug smuggling or anything like that. So please leave the Little Debbie boxes out of this.
They're innocent.
Choose something else.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Disneyland in California. It was having some issues earlier this week on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
Yeah, what was up?
Did you see what happened? Some riders were stuck on the ride after it shut down for 90 minutes.
Isn't that a boat ride?
Yeah, it is a boat ride.
So you're just stuck on the boat for 90 minutes?
They were shipwrecked on the boat. They were marooned.
That's true. That's great. Even though what's worse is the question of how long did they have to wait to get on the ride?
Yeah.
And then you're like, and another 90 minutes.
Your whole Disney day is gone right there between the wait. I don't know if the Pirates of the Caribbean, maybe it's just not popular. That's the one. That's when you go on to kill time while you wait for the cool things to open up.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't too long.
I kind of like the Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
They call it an interruption of 159 minutes.
Oh, wow.
They say that after a while, they just stopped at a certain point, and then because it is a boat ride, workers had to come and they were wearing, like
waiters.
Yeah, the fishing thing, like the pants, so that they don't.
That's
get wet.
why it was delayed so long. They had to go find those.
They did.
One reporter, his name is Brian Rokos. He was actually one of the people stuck on the ride, and I like that he kind of shared his experience. He says, we are at the point in the ride where the women are chasing the men around in circles and Jack Sparrow is peeking out of a barrel at a pirate who's talking about where the secret treasure is.
Oh, no.
And you think, how can he remember that so clearly? Because they were stuck at that point with the ride still on for 30 minutes. So he watched the women chase the men around and Jack Sparrow go up and down out of the barrel for 30 minutes before at that point, finally, the lights turned on.
This guy,
they were still stuck on there.
If he's a reporter and stuff, that's gold.
It is, right?
That's where he's going to get his following from. So he was so excited to be stuck there. He didn't care.
Yep.
And it just reopened right before 9 o'clock that evening. And they say everybody was fine. And they didn't say how people were compensated, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm interested to find out. But I'm also thinking there's worse rides you could be stuck on for 90 minutes. For this one, they say that, again, 30 minutes, the ride was stopped, but everything just kept going all around them for about 30 minutes. So you're just hearing yo ho, a pirate's like for me over and over. But I mean, that's not good. But what if you're on it's a Small World ride? I don't know if you'd make it off.
I got stuck on the Toy Story, the Buzz Lightyear one.
You did?
But
so your score probably was super high.
Well, no, because they turn the lights on and then they just talk in a robotic voice, like, just hang on, that sort of thing. And that wasn't for very long. Actually, I do take it all back. They did say some updates on what happened.
Oh, yeah?
They said that they were able to push the boats closer to the shore area, so they were able to get the people off the ride. And they gave them a behind-the-scenes look at the ride.
Oh, wow. Well, they basically got one.
Anyways.
Yeah.
And they got some fast passes, too. So that's how they were compensated.
Which you could have gotten for free until a few months ago.
Well, you wouldn't have needed the fast passes if the ride itself was just able to work.
That's right. Well, I'm glad everybody is okay. I wonder, somebody had to have used the bathroom during that time, too. That would suck.
Remember when you're in an emergency situation and if you're with a group of people, what happens stays there. You don't talk about it.
Yeah.
So if someone used the restroom in the Pirates of the Caribbean water, you're not allowed to talk about it afterwards.
They flushed it out, though, after the ride just to be safe? Like cycled all the water out, drained it out.
Maybe they needed to clean it off.
Yeah, because I'll tell you, for me, after a couple minutes of the ride being stuck, I would get very anxious. And when I get anxious...
You have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
You do.
I don't know if I do, but at least I feel like I do, which means that I do.
Well, just don't talk about it, though.
So I don't know how long I'd be able to hold it.
You need to wait and then share the details of what happened during those 90 minutes or so in the book that Hudson will be writing.
Yeah. I never, it's not worth it. No amount of fame and fortune and book deals would be worth being stuck 90 minutes somewhere. I don't think I could take that.
On a Disney ride.
Yeah.
If you missed out on the next Riot moment when it originally aired, you don't know how lucky you are. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
It'd be good for breakfast.
What sounds good?
A cinnamon roll pie.
Yes, I love how you think.
Yeah. Oh, it's not how I think. It's how Cracker Barrel thinks.
See, I feel like, to Cracker Barrel on what would have been a family vacation with your parents. And you were on a car ride, not a flying vacation, but a driving vacation.
A road trip.
Something centered around your parents.
I would always
wanted to go.
I would usually wind up at Cracker Barrel if I had family in town where I used to live. And family would come into town, and like the Canadian family, they couldn't get Cracker Barrel in Canada, I don't think.
So they always wanted to go.
So Cracker Barrel was a big deal for them, and it was a big deal for us too. It's a restaurant, and it's got a gift shop. Whoa! So, Cracker Barrel, it's divisive because I think in certain circles, it's like, oh, that's for those country folk, and they're too, that's what the hillbillies think is good food, and then. I'm not a hillbilly, but I think Cracker Barrel's pretty good.
You like it?
Yeah.
See, I only really like their breakfast stuff, but I think you can get that all day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a Cracker Barrel staple. You get pancakes whenever you want if you go to Cracker Barrel.
Well, now they have I guess they must also have like a holiday menu, kind of like, Starbucks. They're coming out with their Christmas stuff today, and other places have holiday features, and this one looks pretty good.
Yeah, it is. It is a cinnamon roll pie. You get it for breakfast, although I do think you can get it all day long. And in a way, it's not nearly as exciting as it sounds because it looks like it's literally a cinnamon roll baked into a pie crust. So it's just a regular cinnamon roll with a pie crust around it. But I'll tell you what, especially if that's they don't say it's a graham cracker crust, but if it's not, that's a missed opportunity. That would add one more layer to how delicious this would be.
It's a cinnamon roll baked inside a pie crust, drizzled with sweet cream cheese icing. You can get it all day.
All day. That's what I like.
Get eggs, bacon, or sausage, even though they call it sauce, and I think that's a mistake in the article.
Yeah, I think it is.
You can have it through December 19th, and if not, though, they also sell the roll pie itself, which sounds like Roll Tide. You can buy it itself, to take away, and that goes through December 24th.
Nice. It's also, if you do get it for the meal, it comes with fried apples or a hash brown casserole, too.
I think I need to go.
How can you not love Cracker Barrel when you hear these things coming out of our mouth?
Yeah, but
fried apples, hash brown casserole. They probably put sausage gravy on it for you if you want.
I bet they do.
And that wouldn't be wrong.
It always felt like it was an older person menu sort of thing.
Yeah.
But this does sound good.
It is decorated like it's like it's recreating a Dolly Parton experience or something, But wherever you may be, you don't have to be in Tennessee. You could just be anywhere that a Cracker Barrel happens to be, and it feels like you've gone back to a old mountain, a still, or something like that.
It feels like you're going back in the time when you weren't questioning, did you just eat a whole cinnamon roll pie?
Right, that's right. And definitely going to a place in an area where that's fine.
Yeah, it's okay.
No matter where you are in life, though, it's weird that this would feel okay for breakfast. You roll in there at 5 p.m. and you're like, yes, I'd like a nice cinnamon roll pie for dinner, please. That doesn't quite feel right, but it doesn't mean it's wrong.
You can do what you want.
Yeah, just go for it. That's just maybe that's why it's only for the holidays, because it's a not all the time thing.
Store at room temperature? Now that they can do. The Riot RadioU.
Every day we see that people are going to farther and farther lengths to try to protect themselves from COVID-19, and not just protect themselves, but protect their children. We now know that, the Pfizer vaccine has been approved by the FDA for children over 5.
Did you see the videos?
No.
Oh, gosh.
What is it, like kids crying when they get the shot or what? Oh.
Well, everybody
is
on the
that
news.
what was making you cry yesterday?
No,
or?
everybody in the news was like, yeah, this is great. And they're always zooming in on these kids that are just like, no, I don't want this shot.
But they get a Doc McStuffins Band-Aid.
I'm just telling you, it wasn't the best look for all of it. Some kids were very upset. No matter what shot it would have been, they would have still been upset. They just didn't want to be filmed during that moment.
Yeah, and you can't offer them like a lollipop as a reward because they just went trick-or-treating, so it means nothing. But what we're finding is in California, some parents, it's reporting, and I think this is for children maybe less than 5, so still not able to get the vaccine, but older than you would want them to be for this. Some parents are sneaking breast milk into their children's food because they believe or hope that it will pass on the COVID-19 antibodies.
So you mean the mom has had the vaccine?
The mom has either had the vaccine or maybe has had the virus.
COVID, sure.
And so she's trying to, they're talking about putting it into their kids' cereal and oatmeal.
Sure.
For children 2 years and older. They're putting it in there and hoping that it will pass on the antibodies to them since they're not old enough to get vaccinated yet.
Well, I don't know about any of that.
Yeah. The CDC, to be fair, recommends only breastfeeding up to 1 year old.
Well, what was your joke going to be?
I was wondering if this is what Aaron Rodgers, he was doing a homeopathic treatment to get his antibodies up.
This it?
The NFL wouldn't approve it. I think he might have. What else could it be?
I know.
What other homeopathic treatments are there?
And Hudson saying allegedly, this is what Aaron Rodgers maybe was saying.
Aaron Rodgers doesn't have a good relationship with his family as far as I know, like his parents. I've heard they've kind of been estranged. And plus his mom is far too old. So where's he getting the milk?
I think you can buy it online.
You can.
Well,
is that like a black market thing?
No,
or do they just sell it?
I think it's just
you can just get breast milk online.
I think, or maybe
from another human being.
Maybe, okay, buying is the wrong term. I think they provide that for like moms who need it.
Oh, really?
So I think there's this whole world with that. So yeah, you probably could.
Is that okay for like one baby from one mom to drink breast milk from another mom?
It's not connected, I don't think.
You don't think?
I mean, it's more weird if you're like...
It'll alter their DNA or something.
25 and wanting... like, it's more weird with that, but I don't know anymore than that.
It's just... It's. I guess you got to do what you got to do, right? Could it hurt anything?
It's just weird.
It feels weird.
It is weird.
But if you're a 4-year-old and you're getting breast milk in your cereal, is that the worst? What could go wrong? What could go wrong?
If you're looking for hot takes on the day's most important news stories, you're in the wrong place. You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
So imagine this, Nikki. You're at a Bob Evans, New Albany, Indiana.
I love how we were talking about Cracker Barrel not too long ago. And now
Cracker
you're like,
Barrel, Bob Evans, we're hitting it all.
What are we doing there? We're getting some food?
At the Bob Evans, we've got a woman who was going to the Bob Evans bathroom. She sat down and she put her purse down in the bathroom. And when
you don't do.
You don't push your purse down? Where do you put it?
Well, you hold it. You clutch it tightly. Like, you're not going to put it on the floor. It's dirty. You gotta love your purse more than that.
It's dirty, and you might shoot yourself.
No, is that what happened?
That's what happened to her.
Well, okay, so she had a gun in her purse?
She had a gun in her purse. It accidentally discharged. It shot her in the head.
Wow.
Now,
but she's okay. They say it's not life-threatening.
Fortunately, she is okay. Apparently, the bullet ricocheted. So those are some strong stall doors in the bathroom.
Maybe it ricocheted off the bathroom tile.
It could. Yeah, that's true also. But nevertheless, this woman accidentally shot her gun. It shot off when she put her purse down in the Bob Evans bathroom, ricocheted, hit herself in the head, and yet somehow she has lived to tell the tale.
And you're outside.
Injury is not considered life-threatening.
You're outside and you just hear this noise. You're like, I'm not going in to see. I don't want to see what's going on with that.
Can you imagine if you're in the stall next door?
Well, the bullet's ricocheting around you.
Right.
Oh, no.
Whoa. Slow down in there.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Need some toilet paper?
Yeah. Can you spare a square?
That's all you ever hear.
Yep. Oh, my gosh.
See, that's why you're just supposed to never put your purse down. You don't carry a purse. You don't know.
You shouldn't put your purse down. I kind of wonder, what kind of area was this Bob Evans in? Why do you need to bring your gun in?
Well,
what do you think's going to go down in a Bob Evans?
Maybe she always conceals and carries.
Uh-huh.
But
you never know.
I thought if you have a conceal and carry, wouldn't it still be not... I don't know how else to say, but not on.
Yeah.
Don't you do something to make sure it's not?
You mean the safety?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
It's a good thing we don't carry guns. I don't know. We should have gotten Sydney in on this because she would know. She knows all the gun terms. She always. I love when you talk to Sydney. If you talk to her about guns, she uses the technical terms. At least they sound technical to me. Where she wouldn't say the gun was shot.
Sure.
She would say the gun was discharged, and that's how you know. That's how you know if it's a gun. Somebody who knows things about guns, because we would just say shot. But in this story, because it's written by somebody who actually has to be accurate, and if it's Sydney who's a gun aficionado, it's discharged. The gun is discharged. So she discharged. It's just. I guess if you
some people carry it around.
Yeah, if you just have it all the time, I just can't picture maybe just for the Bob Evans outing, you leave it behind.
I don't know.
And where do you feel safer than a Bob Evans?
Yeah, but we haven't been, so we don't know.
Yeah. Well, this is on the Kentucky-Indiana border, I think. So, it could be a whole different world.
It's
those
a tough
kind
crowd
of
at Bob Evans nowadays.
Yeah.
Or
maybe she was just, she just really wants to make sure they get her order right.
But I thought with
give me the rotisserie chicken the way I asked. I want the whole thing.
When it's a concealed thing, you're supposed to be quiet about it. So maybe just something was wrong. It does not say if she's in trouble for having the gun.
Yeah.
It just said that she thankfully is going to be okay. That it was not life threatening.
Yeah, it add insult to injury if she for some reason she gets charged with something. She gets charged after she discharged. In multiple ways.
I think, though, sometimes we need to learn a lesson if we were doing it wrong.
Yeah. Yes. But it was just one more thing, She already got shot in the head. Isn't that punishment enough?
Well, they wait till she heals up, and then they go talk to her.
You might be thinking that this won't be quite as bad the second time around. Well, you'd be greatly mistaken. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Isaiah, you shared this story. Would you like to share your findings with the class here? I'm impartial. No, I am partial on this subject. So I can't be a neutral party.
Oh, because you met your wife with a dating app.
I did.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
I've never used a dating app.
What?
I wouldn't even really know how to get around
with
it.
You just probably walk out the door and
he doesn't need to.
I've never used one. I've never downloaded one. I don't even know how they work.
You never had me to. Unlike me.
Hey, so what the study finds here is that if you've used a dating app, you might be in trouble.
Uh-oh.
Because it says there's a higher rate of people who have used a dating app and gotten married to the person they met, the higher rate of divorce. Which isn't what Hudson wants to hear this morning.
No, I do not.
They say that if you found your significant other with a dating app, there's a higher chance that 12% of couples get divorced within the first 3 years of marriage.
Well, we beat the odds because we've already made it past 3 years.
Compared to if you just surveyed, like people who've been just married 3 years but didn't meet that way, that's normally at 2%.
Yeah, so that's not good news for the dating app life. I've heard theorizing on this before that if you use a dating app, you treat dating you have the tendency to potentially treat dating more as you're always looking for the next upgrade kind of thing. Because you always know, you just go on the dating app and there's more people out there.
Sure.
There's always somebody. So people that if you meet somebody on a dating app and no matter how well the relationship is going, you might have a tendency to go back, especially during a rough patch, and be like, well, there's always someone else out there on the dating app, so I'm just going to start flipping through again.
Start swiping again.
Yeah, so they just always go back to it. They find, though, that people breaking up and stuff, if you got together in school, there's about an 8% chance, 7% if you met at work. So it seems like breaking up is still everywhere.
Yeah.
It happens to the best of us. I always do you know the dating, what do they say? The divorce rate is like 50%, right? I always thought, if it's 50%, why don't you just marry someone, divorce them, and then just get married the second time? Then you're good to go.
It's less?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just get
I don't
your
know if
divorce
that's how
out
it
of the
works.
way.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Most of my friends are still together, but I remember the one when they broke up 3 months.
Oh, yeah?
After the big day.
Did they meet on a dating app?
No, and it was just like, dude, why'd you guys?
Why'd you guys go through all that?
And I was so bad. I was like, I got you a present.
I got you a gift and everything.
I want a refund.
I know, give it back.
But I'm not giving back the food that I ate during the reception.
Wow, they just say that, from that, it might be just something to know.
Maybe
But
you
don't
just
worry
need to
about
be
it.
extra sure if you're... Well, you should be extra sure anyways, but maybe have one more ounce of caution before you marry somebody, especially off of a dating app.
That's good. Good advice from
That's
Hudson.
great advice.
Good
Maybe
advice.
just be extra sure. Like, I don't know. Maybe just be a little bit more sure, and then it might work out.
If you're together with someone, why don't you make an effort to decide that everybody then removes the dating apps from their phones?
Make sure we delete those.
You don't need to go back and meet anybody else.
No, you do not. So, there we go. Relationship advice.
That's enough of that. For more Riot content, head to riot.radiou.com.